You know what absolutely disgusts me? The way WWE has been handling their talent's health and safety behind closed doors. And now, we're seeing the devastating consequences play out in real time. Becky Lynch, the woman who literally carried this company through some of its darkest days, just collapsed backstage at a recent event, and WWE management's response? Title: Relinquishment. No explanation. No transparency. Just another superstar forced to give up everything they've worked for while corporate sits in their comfortable offices counting money. This isn't just another wrestling story, folks. This is a crisis that WWE has been sweeping under the rug for years, and Becky Lynch might just be the latest victim of a system that values profits over people. But here's what WWE doesn't want you to know about what really happened backstage. The report started filtering out late yesterday evening, and let me tell you, the wrestling world has been absolutely shaken to its core. Multiple sources from inside the WWE production team confirmed that Becky Lynch collapsed backstage following what was supposed to be a routine creative meeting. We're talking about a woman who has wrestled through injuries, performed while sick, and never once complained about the grueling schedule WWE puts their performers through. For her to collapse, that tells you everything you need to know about how serious this situation really is. Now, WWE's official statement, and I use the term statement loosely because it was basically 3 sentences of corporate nonsense, mentioned that Becky would be relinquishing her championship due to unforeseen circumstances, and that they wish her well in her recovery. Recovery from what? WWE? What are you hiding? Why won't you tell the WWE universe what actually happened to one of the biggest stars in the entire industry? Here's what we've managed to piece together from multiple backstage sources who are absolutely furious with how this is being handled. Becky had been complaining about extreme fatigue and dizzy spells for weeks leading up to this incident. She'd been working an absolutely insane schedule, house shows every weekend, TV tapings, media appearances, and all while being one of the top merchandise sellers in the company. The woman was literally running on empty, and instead of giving her time off, WWE kept booking her in high-profile matches and storylines. Drop in the comments, how many times have you seen WWE overwork their top stars until they break down? The collapse itself happened around 6 p.m., approximately 2 hours before showtime. Becky was in a meeting with creative discussing upcoming storylines when witnesses say she suddenly grabbed the edge of the table, went pale, and crumpled to the floor. The immediate response was chaos. Medical personnel rushed to the scene, and she was immediately transported to a local medical facility for evaluation. For nearly 4 hours, nobody knew what was happening. Social media went into complete meltdown mode. Fans were panicking. Fellow wrestlers were posting cryptic messages. And WWE? Complete radio silence. What makes this entire situation even more infuriating is that this isn't an isolated incident. We've seen this pattern repeat itself over and over again in WWE. Remember when Roman Reigns had to relinquish the Universal Championship? When Daniel Bryan was forced to retire the first time? When Edge had to walk away in his prime? WWE works these people into the ground, squeezes every last drop of value out of them, and then when their bodies inevitably break down, the company just moves on to the next superstar like nothing happened. Becky Lynch has been working at an absolutely brutal pace since her return from maternity leave. She's been WWE's most reliable female performer, someone they could always count on to deliver whether she was wrestling for a championship or putting someone over. She's done media tours, she's been the face of WWE's women's division in mainstream appearances, and she's never said no to anything the company has asked of her. And this is how WWE repays that loyalty? By working her until she literally collapses? Let me know in the comments, is WWE doing enough to protect their performers' health? Or is profit always going to come first? Now, let's talk about what the title relinquishment actually means for WWE programming moving forward. The Women's Championship picture is now in complete disarray. WWE had months of storylines planned around Becky Lynch as champion. There were dream matches scheduled, WrestleMania plans in the works, and promotional campaigns already filmed. All of that is now thrown into chaos because WWE couldn't be bothered to give one of their hardest workers adequate rest and recovery time. The backstage morale, according to our sources, is at an all-time low. Wrestlers are scared. If this can happen to someone as tough and dedicated as Becky Lynch, it can happen to anyone. There are rumors of talent approaching management asking for lighter schedules, but being told that this is what you signed up for and the show must go on. That kind of attitude is not just callous, it's dangerous. We're talking about human beings here, not machines that you can just run into the ground and replace when they break. What's even more concerning is the complete lack of information being shared with the public. In an age where WWE prides itself on being transparent with the WWE universe, the silence surrounding Becky's condition is deafening. Is it a serious medical condition? Was it exhaustion? Was it something that could have been prevented with proper medical oversight and scheduling? These are questions that deserve answers, but WWE is treating this like a state secret. The wrestling community has rallied around Becky in an incredible way. Current and former wrestlers have been sharing messages of support, but many are also using this moment to speak out about the working conditions in WWE. Several performers have anonymously shared their own stories of being pushed beyond their limits, of being told to tough it out when they needed medical attention, and of feeling like they couldn't speak up without risking their position in the company. Triple H, in his role as Chief Content Officer, has been notably silent on this entire situation. For someone who constantly talks about caring for the talent and creating a better working environment than the previous regime, his lack of public comment is telling. Where's the leadership? Where's the accountability? Where's the promise that WWE will do better to protect the men and women who risk their bodies every single night to entertain millions of people around the world? Tell me in the comments, what would you do if you were running WWE right now to prevent this from happening again? The financial implications for WWE are also significant. Becky Lynch is one of their biggest merchandise sellers, one of their most marketable stars for mainstream media, and someone who consistently draws ratings. Losing her for any significant amount of time is a massive blow to the company's bottom line. But here's the thing, if WWE had just been more careful with how they scheduled her, if they had given her proper rest and medical attention when she first started showing symptoms, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation at all. There's also the question of what happens next for Becky's championship. Will there be a tournament? A battle royal? Will WWE just hand it to someone without any build? Whatever they decide, it's going to feel hollow because everyone knows this wasn't how it was supposed to happen. Championships should change hands in epic matches, not because someone's body gave out due to corporate negligence. The precedent this sets is terrifying. If WWE can work someone as beloved and valuable as Becky Lynch into a medical emergency, what chance do the mid-card performers have? What about the developmental talent in NXT who are desperate to prove themselves and might not speak up when they are hurt? This creates a culture of fear where performers feel like they have to sacrifice their health to keep their spot, and that's a culture that leads to tragedy. As fans, we need to hold WWE accountable for this. This isn't about insider politics or backstage drama, this is about the health and safety of human beings we've welcomed into our homes every week. Becky Lynch has given us incredible moments, unforgettable matches, and inspired countless young women to pursue their dreams in professional wrestling. She deserves better than this. They all deserve better than this. Final question for you, what's the one thing WWE needs to change immediately to ensure this never happens again? Drop your thoughts below. The coming days and weeks will be crucial. We need WWE to provide real answers about Becky's condition. We need transparency about what led to this collapse. We need concrete changes to how WWE schedules and monitors their talent. And most importantly, we need to make sure that Becky Lynch gets whatever time and treatment she needs to fully recover, without any pressure from the company to rush back. This is a wake-up call for the entire wrestling industry. The performance schedule in WWE is unsustainable, and until significant changes are made, we're going to keep seeing situations like this. Becky Lynch might be the latest example, but she won't be the last unless WWE fundamentally rethinks how they treat the people who make their billions of dollars possible. The man came around and changed WWE forever. Now it's time for WWE to change for her and for every other performer on that roster. The question is, will they actually do it, or will this just become another story that gets swept under the rug while the machine keeps grinding forward? Stay tuned to Wrestling